FC24 is finally here. Rest in peace to FIFA. I am so ready to get started in FC24 and get started in this career mode. I've been having a lot of trouble deciding what team I really wanted to go with to start off my FIFA, or of course I said FIFA, to start off my FC24 career mode. And I decided that I think I'm going to go with Brighton because of just how promising their team is and just how exciting they are to watch in real life. And we're going to go ahead and stick with Roberto De Zerbi as well, just because of how well he is doing in that position. I'm going to try to keep this career mode pretty realistic. I know Brighton are very, very good at buying players for a very cheap amount of money and then selling them for obviously a very large amount of money, like Caicedo. Like Trossard wasn't exactly a lot of money to Brighton or to Arsenal, but a lot of other players as well. They're supposed to be selling Evan Ferguson within the next year for a lot of money as well. So we're going to try to keep it as realistic as we can. If you are watching this, please be sure to leave some comments down below and some suggestions on what you would like to see in this career mode. The wait for FC24 and the build up for this game felt like it took forever, and I'm excited to get into this game and see some of the new features that they brought into career mode. One of those new features being set your tactical vision. I'm sure most of you guys have already seen the tactical vision and the different ones that you can choose. I'm going to go ahead and go with tiki-taka just because that's the way I've played the game. That's the one I'm most comfortable with. So let's go ahead and get into it. I am getting a 5-star expert in tiki-taka. I think we're going to go ahead and sign him up, and we're going to sign him up as an attacking coach. I've already seen some stuff about how coaches seem a little bit too overpowered in this game, so I'm only going to sign one coach to each position or position group. I'm going to go ahead and sign Charlie Welsh as a midfield coach as well. And our defensive coach is going to be Arthur Francis. And in goal, we are going to sign Matthew Kirby to be our goalkeeping coach as well. Only a 3-star coach, but he'll do the job. I'm going to be trying to use a little bit of a mix between the youth academy and then signing players as well to build this team throughout the years in this career mode. As you can see, our youth academy doesn't look great as of right now. There are a couple players that look promising. We're going to hire some coaches or some scouts for the youth academy, and hopefully we can bring in a couple of players throughout this career mode that are actually going to make an impact on this team. Looking at the board objectives, it does look like youth development is going to be fairly important for us, so it's good that we're going to go ahead and try to do that in this career mode. We also need to sign one crucial first team player to a defender position. We're going to have to wait till the January transfer window to do that because I did go ahead and disable the transfer window. Like I said, I want to keep it a little bit realistic, keep the teams how they are as of right now, and then in January we'll kind of reevaluate and see if we need to just sign anybody to any position, but it looks like we're going to have to find one for a defender. Looks like they do want us to reach the semifinal of the Europa League, or Brighton's first time being in Europe in a very long time. I'm not sure if they ever have, actually. I'm sure they have at some point, but I'm not too familiar with their background. But yeah, reaching the semifinal is going to be a tough ask. I know Brighton lost their first game in the Europa League the other day 3-2 against a team that it seemed like they should have beaten. So we'll see how that goes. In the Premier League, they only want us to finish mid-table, which I think is doable, and I'm actually going to aim for top 6 every year. Hopefully we could get top 4, but I know that might be a little bit of a stretch this year just because of the team that we do have. But it does look like within 2 seasons they do want us to finish in that Europa League spot, so we'll see how it goes. And then financially, they want us to finish the season with a profit margin of £100 million. That should be doable. That goal is always accomplished in any FIFA that we've ever played, and now in FC, I guess. All right, so looking at the team, this is what they have starting out. I don't know about João Pedro in that cam position. I know that he's played there, I think, a couple games in real life. This team is solid, but in FIFA, or excuse me, in FC24, they are a little bit underrated, I feel like. We're definitely going to change out Steele for Verbruggen, and then I believe I'm going to change out João Pedro. One player that I'm really, really excited to use in this team is Ansu Fati, of course. What a transfer that was in real life for Brighton. I don't think anybody would have expected them to make a move like that, at least not for a few more years of being kind of in the top half of the Premier League. But they went ahead and did it, and I know that it is just a loan move, but it is a fantastic signing for them for this season. And another player that I'm really excited to use is obviously Evan Ferguson. The young striker is obviously going to be a very, very sought after player in next year's transfer window and next summer's transfer window in real life. Danny Welbeck up top. I love Danny Welbeck. I mean, his time at Arsenal was very short, but I did appreciate it whenever he was there. But I imagine Evan Ferguson is going to take over that spot very, very quickly. And then, of course, we've got some players with a lot of experience in midfield, like Milner, like Lallana. Very excited to use Julio and Enciso as well. But then one of the players I'm most excited to use is obviously Kaoru Matoma. He is one of the most exciting players in the Premier League, in my opinion, and he is one of the reasons why I wanted to choose Brighton for my very first career mode in FC24. The game is already starting us off with a 5-star, 4-star youth scout that is available to us to use right now. I don't really know where I'm going to put him first. I think I want to put him in Belgium we'll do 3 months to start off and just see who he finds, if he finds anybody that's going to be helpful for this team. Once the January transfer window does roll around, we are going to have a little over £60 million to work with in our transfer budget, which is probably much more than we're going to actually end up spending. What we're going to try to do, like I said, is try to find some lower rated players or maybe just lower valued players that we can turn into great players in this team, much like Brighton does in real life. life. My goal in this career mode is to spend no more than like 25 million on any one player, just because I feel like that's something Brighton would never do in real life, is spend more than that. And of course, if we can, we're going to sell some players as well. If bigger clubs come in with huge offers, like for Evan Ferguson next summer, if someone comes in with a huge offer, we probably will sell him. We're definitely going to negotiate to try to get the most that we can out of it, but we will likely sell him just because that is kind of what Brighton is known to do. One thing I do wish they would have done in this new game is added more substitutes on the bench. I know in real life, I believe it's 9 players on the bench and you can make 5 subs. So I wish they would have done this. I'm not sure why they wouldn't be able to. And in this year's game, they did end up changing the training plans that you put on your players. You're no longer just doing the boring training drills the same way that we always have. Those will be before the games. But as an overall training plan, you can train different groups. You can either train all your players, you can train starting 11. You can actually individually train players a certain way. I think what I'm going to do is make sure that my starting 11 is energy focused so that they are fully fit for every game. And then I'm going to change all of my substitutes to performance focused so that they can stay sharp even though they are sitting on the bench. And now that that's done, we're actually going to go ahead and skip into our first Premier League game. Go ahead and bypass all of the preseason games just because I don't really want to play them and I'm sure you guys don't really care about watching them. So we're going to go ahead and bypass those and I'll see you before our first Premier League game. All right, and we actually had a change of plans even before we even got into the preseason games. I noticed that our sharpness levels were extremely low for the starting 11, so we're going to go ahead and change them back out to the performance focus like the rest of the bench and substitutes are and reserve players are, because they are at full fitness and full sharpness, and our starting 11 have no sharpness at all. So maybe don't do that right at the start, but we'll see how it goes throughout the season. The transfer window is disabled, and we're still gonna get offers for Evan Ferguson. It seems like Manchester United are only offering us £10 million, which we're gonna hope to sell him for a lot more if we ever do. So we're gonna go ahead and reject that immediately. And I can also show you that the preseason games did not exactly go to plan, as we lost 2 out of 3 and drew the other one. Our team did not look good in any of those games. That being said, we do have our very first game in the Premier League with Brighton against Luton Town, and we are going to go ahead and bypass the training sessions just for these first couple games, just to see how the game goes, and maybe if we feel like we need them later on in this career mode, we'll go ahead and start doing them. With that being said, this is what we are looking like heading into our game against Luton. This is the 11 we're going with. I know Ansu Fati doesn't exactly play attacking mid position, but that's where we're going to keep him just because I need him in this lineup somehow. We are going to be starting off on Legendary. We're going to see how that goes. I have seen so far that Legendary looks like it could be pretty difficult. This is actually going to be my first full game playing in this new FC game, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Some of the cutscenes are a little bit different this year, which is nice to see, but I have seen that they took out some of the pre-game walkouts stuff, so that's kind of disappointing to see as well. All right, very first kick of FC 24. Let's get right into it. I am so ready. I am so ready to get into this career mode with Brighton. And hopefully I will be taking them to some Premier League glory. I don't know how well it's going to go, but I'm hoping that we can at least get top 4 at some point in this career mode. Brighton have been one of the most exciting teams to watch over the past couple of years, and even as an Arsenal fan, I can appreciate how well they have played. Pushing forward with Matoma here, he is one of the players I'm most excited to use. We got Danny Welbeck on the edge of the box. We're actually going to go for a shot here. Low-driven shot. A fantastic shot by Danny Welbeck. It nearly goes into the back of the net, but it goes just wide of the post. Danny Welbeck here, out to Veltman, back into Welbeck. Not a lot of places to go, and they are pressing us very hard. We got it out here to Matoma, though. Estupiñán's making an excellent overlapping run. He's going to go for the shot. Tim Krul makes an excellent save. We still have the ball here on the edge of the box. Matoma's going to look inside for Estupiñán, and it is a turnover. We are not running this game with any sliders either, so we are just playing on regular Legendary, and we're going to see how it goes. Luton pushing forward here. Estupiñán makes an excellent interception, but we do turn it over with Matoma in a dangerous area. They are on the edge of the box. Brown takes a shot. Verbruggen with an excellent save. Veltman does keep it in, and we are hopefully going to be able to clear this one out. Dispossessed in midfield again. An excellent pass into Brown. And Brown takes the shot and gets it past Verbruggen. And Luton are up 1-0 early on here against Brighton. I don't know if it was shown, but Dehu got dispossessed in midfield. And it was an easy pass into Brown, making a run through our defense. All right, we need to bounce back quick. We don't want Luton to gain confidence. Ansu Fati finds Solly March driving down the wing. Inside the box, not exactly the wing. Takes a shot, but it is saved. Are going to maintain possession, though. Pascal Gross able to get the ball back. Finds Matoma. We're going to look kind of towards the back post, towards Solly March. Unable to come down with it. Welbeck. Oh, unfortunate touch. It's pretty weird. So far, this game in some ways feels faster, and in some ways it feels slower, which is kind of nice. It feels a little bit more realistic. Veltman able to get an interception there, or to get a tackle in there. And that is going to go ahead and be the end of the first half. Ref blows his whistle. We are down 1-0 against Luton, which is not a place where many teams are going to end up being in this Premier League season, in real life at least. So we need to go ahead and turn this around as quickly as possible so that we do not start off our Premier League season with a loss. Ansu Fati looking over the top for Matoma. Matoma takes a nice touch, gets it to Welbeck, and Welbeck puts it into the back of the net. What an excellent pass from Ansu Fati, and what an excellent pass from Matoma into Welbeck. I was really not expecting that pass to get there. Ansu Fati over the top to Matoma. He takes an excellent touch. An excellent pass into Welbeck and finishes with his left foot as well. That was a beautiful play by us. All right, 1-1 against Luton here after 50 minutes. Not exactly where I thought we were going to be. I was hoping for an easy win here. But we find ourselves in a position where we need to find at least one more goal in this game. A free kick to Luton on that tackle. They knot it into the box, or they cross it into the box. Luckily, we are able to get a head onto it, and hopefully we're going to be able to counterattack here. Okay, the counterattack is well and alive. Ansu Fati breaking down this wing. Not a lot of places to go. Going to try to look back inside. The ball ends up in Matoma. And Krul makes an excellent save. I thought that was going to rebound off of his hand into the back of the net. Corners do look a little bit different this year. I kind of like the box that's around the ball so that you can kind of pinpoint a little bit more accurately. But unfortunately, that cross does not find anybody. We're going to get this one back out to Pascal Gross, though. Into Ansu Fati. Ansu Fati's going to find Welbeck. Tries to go for a shot, but we are dispossessed. Sambi Lakanga makes a nice turn in midfield. He's pushing forward now. Got a few options to look forward to. And we're actually going to be able to dispossess him with Lewis Dunk, who was not really doing anything with the ball there. Kabore breaking down this wing. Back to Brown. Or now into Brown. Lewis Dunk makes another challenge and is able to win the ball in our own box. He's been an excellent defender today. Danny Welbeck able to get that ball to Ansu Fati, who's breaking down the wing. It's going to be a little bit too slow to get past the defender. We're going to pull it back. Look for Solly March on the edge of the box. He keeps hold of it. Able to get it to Danny Welbeck. We're going to go for a shot here. Low-driven shot, and it goes just wide of the post. Only 10 minutes left to go in this game. We are going to go with a 5-man substitution. A lot of tired legs out there. So hopefully we're going to bring on these 5 players, and they are going to make a difference in this game. We really need to get 3 points here against Luton. They are not a team that you want to draw or lose to. We need to make a tackle here. An excellent pass. Now the Woodrow has it. Shoots it right at Brighton. Oh, man. That one's on me. I pressed B right as that guy was shooting. And Webster fouls him. I mean, it's a little bit of a weak penalty, I'm not going to lie. Woodrow up for the penalty. We're going to go left. He goes right down the middle. And Luton lead 2-1 after 88 minutes, which means now likely the best result we can get is a draw. All right, we got to push forward here now. We're going to go on ultra attack. We got maybe 5 minutes left with extra time, and we immediately turn it over. Referee, don't blow your whistle, and he does. 93 minutes gone. And we end up with a loss in our first game of the Premier League season to likely the worst team in the Premier League. No hate to Luton. I actually really appreciate and love what they've done, but they're not exactly the best team, and especially in FC. Well, after our first game, that is certainly not where we want to be. You can see the table here. Lots of teams up at the top. Luton in 7th place, which, again, it's only 1 game into the season. We actually are sitting in 12th, technically, because of the fact that we start our team name with a B, but not where we want to be. I think that we need to turn this around immediately. We do not need any more losses. Luckily, our next game is against Wolves. Not exactly the greatest team in the Prem, so we need to go ahead and bounce back here in this next game. I do like this pre-match report feature that they added in. At least you can see the team before you actually go into it. Not that it really does a whole lot, but the last 5 matches and then just the overall of the team, those are kind of just nice features to have. And then looking at the tactical vision and things like that as well. It's just a cool feature. It's a very small feature, but it's one that they might as well have added in. There's a few other features obviously they missed throughout the year, but that's a pretty cool one. All right, we have no changes in the team for this game. We're going to go ahead and stick with the same team again. If we do not get a win in this game, we might look into switching it up just a little bit. But we are going to go with the same starting 11 and hopefully get a win here against Wolves away from home. Wolves pushing forward here nicely very early on in this game. Sarabia on the wing, making some moves. Going to go for a shot. Verbruggen luckily gets to that one, and we are able to clear it away. Toma using his pace out on this wing. We are going to be able to find someone in the middle, hopefully. We find Ansu Fati. He's going to go for a shot. Goes well wide of the post. It was supposed to be a finesse shot, but it might have been a little bit too much power. Neto is pushing down this wing, just pushing the ball in front of him, and he just keeps running. Probably going to look for a cross in. Webster, I think that's who that was, didn't do anything with it. Luckily, we were able to get it out. Matoma is actually going to do the same thing over here. We're going to cut back now. Look for Danny Welbeck. Oh, that's Ansu Fati inside. Ansu Fati has wide open space. We're going to go for the shot and get it into the back of the net. That's the start we were looking for. 18 minutes into this game against Wolves, and we are ahead 1-0. Ansu Fati found himself in a load of space thanks to Kara Matoma's pass into him. And he just kept running forward and got that shot around the keeper, and we lead 1-0. Like I said, what a signing that is for Brighton. I imagine we're going to be seeing that a lot in real life this year. A lot of Ansu Fati with a goal. But now we just need to hold on to this lead, and we need to score more goals without them scoring, of course. That's kind of how the game works. But they are in our box yet again, passing it around. Sarabia with another shot. Luckily, that one's right at the keeper as well, and we are able to save that one as well. Welbeck, nice hold-up play in the middle. Veltman's making a run on the outside. Gonna look for a cross all the way to the back post. Dahoud gets a foot to it. Excellent, excellent chance for us right there. And the ball goes right off the post. Just a foot to the right, and that would have been in the back of the net, and we would have been ahead by 2. Danny Welbeck with the ball out on the wing, gets dispossessed for just a second. We're pressing them high, though. Danny Welbeck is trying to get the ball back. He does end up getting it back. Matoma might have to turn around, and he gets dispossessed. And I think they're going to be able to get out with this one. Sarabia breaking down this wing yet again. He has been probably their most dangerous player. Passes back to Doherty, who's just going to stand there, I guess. Does make a final move to get past Matoma. Passes it back inside to Sarabia. They are just holding it up right now. I'm not exactly sure what their plan is. Cunha gets dispossessed by Gross. And we're going to look down the wing here. Welbeck out here to Veltman. I see a run being made at the back post, and the referee blows his whistle before we were able to get a chance to move forward. That's going to be halftime. 1-0, Brighton. And I'm actually going to go ahead and bring on Evan Ferguson to start the second half. I want to make sure to get him a lot of minutes this year. I do love using Danny Welbeck, but let's face it, Brighton probably need to start focusing on Evan Ferguson a little bit more. Evan Ferguson going to try to find a pass to Matoma. Please tell me he's onside. He's offsides, of course. Estupiñán with a crazy tackle. Crazy challenge, I guess I should say. It's likely going to be a yellow card. They are at the edge of the box here. They're just playing around the box nicely. Bellegarde actually finds a way to get a shot off. Luckily, Verbruggen is there to make the save, and Estupiñán is going to get that yellow card. And Sufati going to look inside to Evan Ferguson. We have a lot of space to run into. Should I sweat it or should I shoot it? I'm going to go with the shot. I should have sweated it off the bar. Damn, I should have just sweated it. I don't know what I was thinking there. I wanted to get Evan Ferguson a goal. I think that's probably what my mindset was there. Solly March finds Evan Ferguson running down this right wing. Gonna look back inside. Go to Gross. Gross is gonna look for Solly March. Kind of has a little bit of room here. Gonna look for the back post. Matoma was there, but there was a defender in the way. Fati finds Matoma out here on the wing. Please run. You're faster than him. Maybe not by a whole lot. Look back inside. I was trying to find Evan Ferguson. That should be the end of the game, though. I don't think Wolves are going to have enough time. The referee blows his whistle, and we do get a hard-fought 1-0 win away from home at the Molineux Stadium against Wolves, and that is exactly what we needed to bounce back from the loss against Luton. I don't want to look at the standings after every game, but I did just want to show you guys where we are. We're sitting in 12th, but then I saw something that, you know, I thought would just make everybody very happy, that at least that's not a Chelsea fan. They are down in 19th place with 2 losses after 2 games. As an Arsenal fan, that just puts a smile on my face and is very funny to see. I want to go ahead and carry that momentum into our final game of the episode, and I wanted to go ahead and make a few substitutions as well. As you can see, we do have Evan Ferguson up top. Like I said, I want to get him some minutes in this game, or in this season, so I want to make sure that he improves. And at some point, he will be replacing Danny Welbeck full-time in this lineup. I'm also going to get Lamptey in at right back instead of Veltman, and Modair in midfield instead of Dahoud. I want to keep the squad happy. I want to keep most everybody happy as well. Got some players on the bench. I want to bring James Milner in the game at some point, and hopefully going to make some substitutions throughout this game to keep some other players happy as well. So let's go ahead and get into it. If we can finish off this episode with 6 points out of 9 total, that will be good enough for me. I will be happy with that for the first few games. Want to continue to improve on that as well, but of course that's a solid start to the season. Mikel Antonio with a shot. West Ham are up 1-0 after 3 minutes, so maybe I should focus on the game a little bit more. Instead of on the talking about getting 3 points, I should actually try to get the 3 points. Lamptey gets beat on the wing by Cornet, finds his way inside, passes it to Antonio, and the defender doesn't have time to step up, and the goalie doesn't have time to make a decision on what he should do there, and basically just falls over, and it is 1-0 after 3 minutes. Evan Ferguson is going to find Matoma out here on the wing. Matoma's actually going to drive inside. I'm going to go for a finesse shot, and it seemed like it was pretty close. I thought that was going to go into the back of the net, but it looked like it just went wide of the post. Evan Ferguson finding Matoma out on the wing again. He's going to look inside to Ansu Fati. Going to try to go for a shot. Solly March, if he would have just slowed down a little bit, would have been able to get to that. But the goalkeeper comes and collects. Jared Bowen pushing forward out here on this week. Estupiñán is guarding him. He does get a pass inside to Souček. Souček finds Paqueta. We're going to try to shove him off. The ball still finds Antonio. Luckily, we are there to get a block with Webster. Solly March looks inside to Ansu Fati. We're going to find Ferguson. little bit too heavy of a touch. I was looking for Matoma there. Oh, that is so unfortunate. We need to get this goal back quickly. The corner has nothing going for it. We're going to look for Evan Ferguson breaking down the middle here. And the pass by Fati was just god-awful. Coventry looks for Cornet down the wing. We're going to go for a sliding challenge with Tariq Lamptey. Oh, we shouldn't have done that, huh? Yeah. Red card. Well, that is just not good, is it? Paqueta stepping up to take the penalty. We go right. He goes left. And West Ham are up 2-0 after 38 minutes. And we are now down to 10 men as well. This game is not going according to plan. All right, so this is not going well so far. We changed our back line to more of a 3-man formation at the back just so we can keep all of our attackers in the game. We're going to need Evan Ferguson to make a run here. Ansu Fati is going to look over the top for him. And the goalie is invisible, and so is the Zuma. I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. Of course, there's a bug early on in this game. We're going to look for Matoma. Matoma has the ball pushing down the wing here. Don't really know what to look for. Zuma clears that one out. This game is going to be nearly impossible to play if I cannot see their defenders or their goalie. And we just get dispossessed again by Zuma. I'm not sure if this is showing up on video the same way. It looks like the players are invisible. Hopefully in the second half that bug gets fixed because yeah, I don't know where their defenders are or where their goalie is. Yep, nope. Goalie and center back are still invisible. So Fabianski and Zuma have become superheroes and are invisible to pretty much anyone. I feel like that would be a pretty special superpower to have playing any type of sport because no one will be able to see you. All right, we're still going to try to push forward here. It's obviously going to be very, very difficult. O'Dara's going to look inside for Ferguson. Ferguson's going to take a shot. Fabianski makes the save. Wow. It's almost like the ball got knocked out of midair before going into the back of the net. Oh, man. That needs to be fixed very, very quickly. Well, for whatever it's worth, we're going to go ahead and make some substitutions. I feel like we are more than likely going to lose this game, seeing as though we're down to 10 men. We're down by 2. And there are 2 invisible players on their team. So this game is likely already chalked up as a loss for us. We're going to try to score here. And hopefully at some point we will, but if we don't, not much we could really do about it, all things considered. Ziso here out on the wing, tries to swing it in. I believe it hit Soufal's arm, so we are going to have a free kick in a fairly dangerous spot. But, again, Alright, just got kicked out of the game. I think FC24 is just a little bit broken. Alright, so I made it back into the career mode, and of course it did not save us at that point in the game, so we are going to have to play the West Ham game yet again, but I will go ahead and make sure that we lose the game just because we were likely not going to win that game anyways. So let's go ahead and get to that point where we give ourselves a loss in the West Ham game, and then that'll probably be the end of the episode. What a terrible turn of events that game was. Not only the red card, and not only, being down by 2, but we also were playing the invisible squad, so that is tough. Alright, so I made sure that we simulated the game and ended up getting a loss. We ended up losing 4-2. We did not get a red card, and we were not down to 10 men. I'm not sure if Zuma and Fabianski were still invisible or not. If they were, that is quite the bug, and something that FC needs to fix very, very quickly. I would say, it's just FIFA things, but I can't say that anymore. It's just FC things, I guess. That being said, I'm sure that EA will try to fix that bug as quickly as possible. I'm sure there are a lot of bugs with this game. By next week and by next month, I'm sure that a lot of the issues that we are seeing will be fixed, but I haven't seen that one yet. That one is pretty interesting. We are sitting in 13th place after these 3 games. A disappointing episode, to say the least. I was hoping for a much better start to this season. Luckily for us, our next opponent is Newcastle, and they currently are sitting in dead last in the Premier League. 8 goals allowed through 3 games with only 1 scored. I imagine it's still going to be a tough game for us just because their squad is very, very good. That being said, thank you guys for watching. The next episode will be out very, very soon as well. We're going to continue this Brighton career mode, and hopefully we are going to find some success in the Premier League, the FA Cup, and the Europa League as well. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.